Gemini, how you doing? Welcome to your weekly reading here on the Astroflower, going from the 15th through to the 21st of April. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. The sun has picked up. We've seen that on Cymatic TV, our sister channel, all about energy. And I think it's going to be sending prana energy, particularly in the direction of the Earth, this coming week, between the 15th and the 21st. And that has provoked that spiritual awakening that we saw on the collective reading on everybody. And it's affecting everybody's signs. There's no doubt about it. The devil's come up a lot. The Nine of Swords have come up a lot. Judgment has come up a lot for a lot of people. And Five of Wands as well has come up a lot. Let's just see what's going on for you, shall we, on this weekly reading. Overall energies here. Karmic message for your relationship side. Karmic message for your financial side. Influence on the universe, influence on past self, future self, and general outcome. Okay? Empress cards. Yeah, you're creating something new. You've been creating something new for some time, and I think the overall energy has cottoned on to this and is now in a situation where it's helping you to remain emotionally in control of your own creation. And that could be a creation of a relationship as much as on your financial side. And giving birth to something and having control emotionally over your environment. And having control over your emotions doesn't necessarily mean squashing all your emotions. That's not what control over your emotions are. Having control over your emotions is when you're angry, you're really angry and knowing it. When you're happy, you're really happy and you know it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. And that's the sort of thing. It's like sort of, then you can pick and choose what emotions you want to go into. And I think the overall energy is helping you there with that. You've got the Ten of Wands on your karmic path, on your relationship side. There seems to be a situation where you're invited somewhere with someone that you would like to be with, spend some time with. And because you've made, because you've promised to do this or, help this person do that, you can't go down the beach with them or whatever. You can't go down, down the coffee shop together or whatever, or go to that concert together. And I think you're recognizing that sometimes your generosity side is now starting to really curtail your happiness more than anything else. Judgment card again. And that's been coming out on the air signs in that very, very particular direction. And this is where the universe is working in cahoots with the overall energies. The overall energies is the energies that are directly around you, and they change regularly. The influence on the universe is a much more sort of consistent, longer term sort of vibration. And this is helping you to wake up to what you should be doing or who you should be with or where you should be going. This is, it's a trumpet that's calling you to your destiny. And I think you'll recognize, and one of the things you're recognizing this week is, if I want to live that life fully, what I'm supposed to be here to be living, I do need to let go of a few things, which we saw on the Ten of Wands. From your past self to your future self, yes, I think you've been incredibly active, passionately involved in lots of different things, and I think this is contributing to that Ten of Wands. It's been good at the time. It kept you distracted. It kept you focused on sort of your happiness and stuff like that, which is really good. But now it's coming to a stage here, and I think where you've got to streamline some of those things. And I think that's what the Judgment card is all about. It's all about you and your calling, your higher self. Yeah, there's choices to be made. And I think it's revealing as well that what's happening this week is revealing certain things to you. And it's quite little things in a way, but they actually have really big impacts. And what comes out of it in the future self is that you're going to recognize by the end of the week that there's choices to be made as you go forward. And I think this is choices about what makes you feel good. So, as I said, saying to that person, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't come down the beach, or I can't go to that concert because I've promised to do this, that, and the other." And this is where you can, in the future now, with that Ten of Wands, is understanding what you can let go of in order to pursue that what you should be doing in regards to relationships or your spiritual path, or that sort of thing, is really getting in tune with who you are and where you should be going. And what comes out of this week here, and this is why this decision needs to be made, what comes out of this week here is you're getting a lot of knowledge this week, a lot of understanding. I think it's being forced by a lot, by the universe, by this calling, by the coincidences that are around you. Your understanding of how it works, and this puts you in an incredibly powerful position. This allows you to plant the seeds in the future that is for your happiness and your harmony within your life. And now you're understanding that, and you know how that works. And it comes a lot from the streamlining that needs to be done. And that puts you in a very good position to make very clear choices about what relationships work for you going forward. And it's going to help you to be in a much more sort of focused and emotionally rich relationship going forward. Okay, let's just see what's happening on your financial side. You get the Nine of Pentacles, sorry. Okay, so I have been repeating a message to you for probably about 10 months, I feel. I must have been getting very boring. I'm sorry. I think you've understood that. Or that opportunity of big change in your life has come, and now it's coming to an end. And it will come back around in the future. But if you missed it this time, don't worry, it will come back around in the future. But for those of you who have really taken, who've been following the Astroflower and starting to take those steps forward, creating a new pathway for you, getting you out of a rut, you're now on your karmic path, starting to recognize the fruit that you can actually start, harvesting, that is ripe, the rewards of the changes you've put into place. And you should start, harvesting your rewards, basically. I think this is recognizing on your karmic path, is recognizing the good stuff that you've done and that is waiting for you. The universe here is sort of saying, okay, this is good. Okay, the universe is saying here, with this Nine of Pentacles, sorry, the universe is sort of saying here, don't just eat all the fruit, take the seeds out of that success that you're getting and plant it up for future success. So let's say like I planted 10 tomato plants. Let's just say that. So I get like 40 kilos of tomatoes off those plants, and I've kept some of the seeds. So now I can actually plant 20 plants rather than 10 plants. And it's an accumulative thing. And I think this is where the universe is also sort of saying, don't rest on your laurels. Now is the time to think about your future, to start working towards it in this creation that you're doing. Yeah, and I think this setting yourself free, as I said in the past, and this is what you should have been doing, you're now going to put yourself in a position where you've got that happiness after difficulty. It's like pulling teeth. At the time, before you pull a tooth out, it could be really painful. And, even the act of pulling the tooth out could be painful. But once it's out, it's like, oh, yeah. And that's what I think you've been through. Future self, few people have got this actually, the Three of Swords, on this very particular petal. And it has been around you actually. It could have been Aries, Taurus area. Just trying to see whether it's like, I think this is reminiscing. That's the word I'm looking for. It's almost as if like you're reminiscing over something. And it could be, as I say, like, you know, you take that tooth out and everything like that, and it's very painful, it's very beautiful afterwards. But afterwards, you do have a hole in your gap in your teeth, and you may miss that in the future, and it may cause a bit of emotional sort of distress, as it were, for you. But we are on the financial side. So I think is sort of saying, if you really want to get the best out of life, you do have to take the emotions out of the situation. And I think it's basically what's happening here is you're setting up a situation where not this week, but maybe next week or the following week, you're confronted with a situation that you need to deal with in a very practical, very straight and honest way, that, you know, you need to take the emotions out of the situation. You know, that's what it seems to be like more than anything else. Yeah, playing smart. This is all about planting those seeds from the good results that you're getting in. It's like, you know, you started a business and it works really well for the first 2 weeks, right? Because it's a new business. It's a new shop and everybody goes to it and everybody buys something from it. It's that new vibration that sort of helps you to get through. And what you're doing is you would have taken in a lot of money, but rather than going out and buying a sports car, you know, you're reinvesting that money into your business. And I think that's where you've got to take the emotions out of the situation as well. This is making you a lot smarter about how you progress and go forward, because you're preparing for your own future. You're creating a situation which is durable. That's what I'm getting. Durable for your future. Overall energies here. 10 of Cups again. I think this is on your financial side most definitely, but also on your relationship side of knowing how things work for you, knowing where you're carrying too much. And this is where the happiness will come through. And the universe is trying to bring this to you, where you can create your own happiness. That's what the overall energy is trying to bring to your life at the moment. Let's see what's going on with that 10 of Wands. That 10 of Wands where you're doing something so you can't do another thing, as I was explaining earlier on. You're going to recognize that. You're going to see that. Your intuition's going to be playing in the future. This is what you need to be putting into place on your karmic path in regards to your relationship side. Your intuition is going to tell you when you're taking on too much. So I would listen to that inner voice that is within you, that that intuition that is within you, because I think that's what's going to help you enormously streamline a lot of things. And don't allow yourself to get pulled into, because you're so generous, Gemini, you know, the Fool with the Judgment cards. Once you start liberating and not carrying too much, I think this is where you realize you're getting a lot of space here with this Judgment card, and this Fool card. And with this space, it's going to make you realize that actually, I want to be with this person. And recognizing that, when you recognize that, that's when you're going to be able to, you know, that's where the universe is trying to encourage you to take a leap of faith in love, by the looks of things. Yeah, as I said, it's like, you know, you've been running around, it seems like you've been running around doing a lot of things for other people. Very nice. But at the same time, you know, it's now causing conflict that you don't want to be involved in. A choice between two people. And that's, you know, you don't want that in your life. You don't need that in your life. And you're moving on from that. That's what the past is sort of like teaching you about, how, you know, not taking on too much in the way of the 10 of Swords. Look at that. 2 of Pentacles, you get the Ace of Pentacles. This is basically what happens is in the future here, you know how things can, what you're understanding this week is knowing how things work for you. this whole 10 of Wands scenario. And that's what comes out in the knowledge in the King of Pentacles. And it helps you to stand in your power. And now you're starting to realize the seed or the opportunity that you wish to invest in. And it's going to be a choice, but it's going to be so obvious because it comes through your intuition. And with that choice, you are going to be able to really create your own future. 10 of Wands at the top, 10 of Wands at the bottom. You've got to use your intuition. Yeah, your intuition is going to set you free, and it's going to make you feel incredibly, you're going to know yourself so well that it's actually going to provide a lot of reassurance, confidence, with the people that you will be investing in the future, a lot more solid. And I think that's what comes out with the Ace of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles, the choice in order to follow that and follow your happiness. It works really well for you. Works really well for you. Nine of Pentacles, Five of Cups. This is what you want to be avoiding. And this is tied into this as well. And I think here is what I said here is that your karmic messages this week that, yes, you've got a lot of things coming into your life, but don't just consume it. Also think about the future, keeping some of those, keeping some of the profits in order to provide for the future, for future growth, or for future complications and stuff like that. So you've got enough finances coming in so you can deal with it. And that you will avoid all disappointment within the future. Yeah, planting those seeds will create your success. And the universe is trying to encourage you to do that. Once you start doing that, I think this transition that you've been through, that you're now fully engaged in, and you're now you're through the other side and you're starting to create, planting the seeds for your future is going to bring a lot of recognition by people around you, in the respect that people will turn around and kind of go, do you know Gemini, they changed job, or they started that business, they're doing really well now. They really, they seem to be in the flow and they're doing really well. And they're recognizing kind of, how do they do that? And kind of go, well, they didn't swallow up all the profits straight away. They reinvested that judgment card again, falling on the judgment card. It's absolutely mad. This is your calling, following your calling. And it doesn't necessarily mean following your calling is easy, but following your calling is really important. And I think this change that you have made in the recent past within your career, business, or projects has made you feel incredibly happy, but also made you feel incredibly empowered because you're following your path, you're following your judgment. You've taken that wand on and sort of said, right, I'm going to go and live it. And, you are doing that now. But as I said, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's as easy as anything. There's things obviously that there's always complications in life, but with good planning and connecting with really good people around you, trustworthy and reliable people, you will get the best out of life. Seven of Swords with the Three of Swords. You've got the Seven of Swords out the top here. Yeah. The outcome of this week, and then this is your future self. And what you're doing is you're using this intelligence of replanting for your future to avoid all of that. So you can take the emotions out of the situations and you don't get stressed and strained because sales are not picking up as quickly as you thought. And it's because you need to reinvest continually within the business as you started it. And that's what the intelligence brings you. And to avoid, this is the intelligence that you're doing here and planting those seeds for future growth. You're avoiding all repetitive nightmares, stress and strains, and things like that, which we can see that's possibly coming out in next week, or the week after, around that sort of period there. Whatever it is, you're preparing for the future. You're like your own little Noah here. You're creating that boat that's going to save you from the great flood. That's what you're doing. So yeah, there you go, Gemini. Thank you very much for being here. Don't forget about all the energy updates that we do and the energy stuff that we do on our sister channel, Cymatic TV. It'll be linked in the description or around my head at some point. I'll either see you over here, over there, or over here, whichever where it is. It's been lovely to see you again. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.